Hello there guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and on this video there's quite a few things to negotiate about. So I am going to be giving you the latest news on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Then I'm going to be giving you some latest news on MATTEO GUENDOUZI from Arsenal. Then I'm going to be giving you some latest news on JERMIE BOGA from SOlSJAKER. And a bit later on in the video, there is other things to talk about. So let's start with the news anyway on Solskjaer. So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has come out and made an admission. And he said he is unsure how much he will have to spend in the summer transfer window because of the financial impact of the coronavirus pandemic. Now, back in May, my net debt was over 429 million because our debt had risen up by almost 130 million pounds, and the coronavirus pandemic had cost us around 28 million pounds. As you all know, Ed Woodward had confirmed this. Now, Woodward did say the other month that we won't do business as usual in the summer transfer market. So he did say that, we won't be spending hundreds of millions of pounds on players. But he did say we will remain competitive in the summer transfer market and that. And Solskjaer, did recently say that, we will do business in the summer transfer window if players do become available for the right price. But Solskjaer said we do need to spend money to compete with the likes of Manchester City and Liverpool, because analysing at the moment, City and Liverpool are strides ahead of us. I did say, didn't I, our expectations next season will be to challenge for the Premier League title, because this has been the 7th season now we have failed to mount any kind of title challenge up. And we haven't won the Premier League since 2013. So the last time we won it was in Alex Ferguson's last season. Like I said, we have got priorities for the remainder of this season. Like I said, the top 4 is a priority for us, because we do want qualification for the Champions League for next season. And plus, I presume we should generate money if we do get qualification for the Champions League. But possibly, top 4 could be gone for us. We are sitting 5th. We are now 5 points behind Chelsea. Solskjaer did recently say he was targeting a 3rd place finish, but I don't see us finishing 3rd. Also, the FA Cup and the Europa League are 2 priorities for us, because that's a chance of us winning 2 trophies, this season. And like I said if we could win the FA Cup, the Europa League and finish in the top 4, it would be a fantastic achievement for Manchester United and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And it would be a memorable first full season for Solskjaer, because this has been his first full season at the club. Of course, Solskjaer's been with us now 18 months. But of course, Solskjaer's already spent at Manchester United since he got recommended in. He has spent just over £200 million on 5 players. Of course, last summer he brought Daniel James, Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. And in January, he brought Bruno Fernandes and Odion Ighalo in. Of course, he got Ighalo on loan, so far Solskjaer's made 4 permanent signings at the football club. The summer transfer window will be Solskjaer's 2nd summer transfer window as Manchester United, because he's already overseen 1 summer transfer window, but in total it will be his 4th transfer window on that. There was actually stories coming out quite a few weeks ago saying that our transfer budget had been revealed, and it said we was going to get around £269 million to spend. Solskjaer has got big decisions to make in the summer transfer window. Obviously, what players he's going to recommend in. He did say he's looking to make around 3 or 4 major signings. Obviously, our number 1 priority target is Jadon Sancho. Another one of our priority targets is Jack Grealish. So there has been a lot of players on our agenda. And also, too, he's got to make a decision of what players he is going to get rid of. It did recently get confirmed that we are going to release 9 academy players when their contracts do expire. I think it said next week. But yeah, I think we're going to get rid of at least 5 players in the summer transfer window. I think, we're going to get rid of Phil Jones. We're going to look to get rid of Smalling and Rojo on permanent transfers. We've got to make a decision on Angel Gomez's future. His contract does expire in 3 days' time. Like I said, we put forward a few contract offers for Angel Gomez, but he hasn't accepted any of these. Angel Gomez has only made 6 first-team appearances for the football club this season, and only 10 in total since he broke into the senior squad back in 2017. But Chelsea are the ones that have been heavily linked with Angel Gomez. I think we'll also try and get rid of Jesse Lingard and Andres Pereira and all of that. So we get rid of players in the summer transfer window. We'll generate money that way. But to be fair, Solskjaer has got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he got recommended in to the football club. Now, like I said, there's other decisions that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's got to make. He's got to make a goalkeeping decision. He's got to make a goalkeeping decision on, David De Gea and Dean Henderson. I think Solskjaer recently confirmed, in regards to Dean Henderson, that he's not yet ready to become Manchester United's #1 goalkeeper. So we may loan Dean Henderson out for another season. Dean Henderson's had quite a few loan spells. He had one at Grimsby, he had one at Stockport, he had one at Shrewsbury. Now he's on loan at Sheffield United. This has been his 2nd season on loan with Sheffield United. And, to be honest, he's been Sheffield United's player of the season. And he has still got a contract with us until 2022. But Solskjaer did say that Dean Henderson will become England's #1 and Manchester United's #1 goalkeeper in the future. He says we was willing to offer Dean Henderson a new contract, but Dean Henderson will only accept this contract if he's guaranteed to be Manchester United's #1 goalkeeper next season. This is, what it had said. But we did get Dean Henderson when he was just the age of 14. We got him from, Carlisle, back in 2011. But Solskjaer has confirmed that David De Gea will remain our #1 goalkeeper for the remainder of this season. Could also, be our #1 goalkeeper for next season as well. It did say that Solskjaer has set a deadline, a 12-month. He set a deadline for David De Gea. He's given him 12 months to rescue his career at Manchester United. Don't forget, Solskjaer still insists that David De Gea is the best goalkeeper in the world, and I've got to agree with him on that aspect because overall he is still regarded as one of the best goalkeepers in the world, reflecting on what he's achieved at the football club. Also, too, he has won everything here domestically. He's won individual awards. He's nearly made 400 appearances for us in all competitions as David De Gea. And this has been now his 9th season at Manchester United. So he has been a long servant and he's approaching his 10th year at the football club. We've had David De Gea since the Ferguson era. Paid £17 million for him from Atletico Madrid. And like I said, if we was to sell David De Gea, next year or whenever, we'd get a lot more than 17 million that were paid for him from Atletico Madrid. But I did say if David De Gea leaves Manchester United, he will go back to Spain. The main explanations: began his footballing career in Spain, born in Spain, relatives are from Spain, girlfriend from Spain. Plus, he was very, very close to joining Real Madrid in 2015, but due to a fax machine, the deal never materialised. Don't forget, in our first game back against Tottenham in the 1-1 draw, David De Gea was heavily criticised by Roy Keane and all of that, but Solskjaer had come out and defended him. So there you go. And David De Gea last year signed a 4-year deal at the club worth £375,000 a week. Like I said, Tino facing a bit of a dilemma at left back. Of course, we've got Luke Shaw and Brandon Williams at left back, but I think for the remainder of this season, Luke Shaw will remain our first choice left back. Because obviously, Luke Shaw's more experienced than Brandon Williams. Luke Shaw's very, very good. My only element of concern about Luke Shaw is that he is injury prone. This has been now Luke Shaw's 6th season at Manchester United. We paid around £30 million for him from Southampton. Possibly next season, you know, Brandon Williams could become our first choice left back and that. So these big decisions he has got to make at Manchester United, Solskjaer and that. But, you know, we are in a good vein of form now, which is very, very good to see. You know, we are unbeaten in our last 13 games in all competitions. And that is our best vein of form since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was the interim manager. I think also too Solskjaer has promoted the youth very, very well. You know, because the young players have been given their chances this season. But on the other hand, you know, there's you know, some young players in that have found game time very, very difficult. We've taken 18 points against the big 6 sides this season, so that's also been a big, massive improvement. We've definitely improved in the transfer market under Solskjaer. There's definitely no players that have improved under him. And I think, you know, we do need to give him at least another season at Manchester United, you know, to see what he can do. You know, give him a couple of more transfer windows to see who else he can recommend in, because it is a transition period. And like, you know, Solskjaer said at the beginning of the year, he's hopeful that we can get through this transition period in that. But I still don't know if Solskjaer is the foreseeable future for Manchester United. Time will tell. You know, United fans have got different, you know, perceptions on it. Some United fans think he can get us back to where we want to be. And some United fans think we need a manager in at the top level with a proven pedigree. But he does deserve at least another season at Manchester United. We've got 7 games remaining in the Premier League, you know, and we've got the easiest running out of all the Premier League teams. So in reality, we should win at least 6 of our 7 remaining games. You know, so possibly, you know, top 4 is still on for Manchester United. But Solskjaer knows he's got the backing of Ed Woodward, because Ed Woodward has said on quite a few occasions this season he's willing to back Solskjaer. I think also too the Glazers are willing to back Solskjaer as well. But earlier on in the season, we enjoyed our worst start to a Premier League season for 30 years. And reflecting on that, you know, Solskjaer was under pressure at Manchester United. He was actually, you know, very, very close to getting sacked, but I outlined the reasons why Solskjaer didn't get sacked, and that was obviously, you know, the signing of Bruno Fernandes. You know, Bruno Fernandes has made a difference in the team. And also, too, the wins against likes of City and Tottenham earlier on in the season, you can say they also saved his job at the football club as well. Maybe with Solskjaer being a club legend, you know, that could play a part in it as well. Because disregarding him being a club legend, maybe, you know, he wouldn't have even been Manchester United manager now. But Solskjaer, I know, was a great player for the football club for 11 years. He flourished under Alex Ferguson's guidance and all of that. Yes, he did. But, you know, we haven't only been critical of Solskjaer, you know, for the vast majority of this season. You know, I said, you know, there's been a lot of problems at the club in the last 7 years or so. You know, a lot of decisions we've made haven't been the right decisions. You know, there's been cultural problems at the club as well. Also, too, you know, we've been very critical of Ed Woodward for several years. The main explanations why we've been critical of Ed Woodward is reflecting on how poor our recruitment policy's been. He's been criticised for us overpaying for players. You know, his poor selection of managers. You know, so these are the reasons why Woodward has, you know, been criticised. Woodward's been with us since 2012. We've been critical of the Glazers as well. You know, the Glazers, they've been here since 2005 and all of that. But we have been playing catch-up for the last 7 years. But one of the main explanations why we have been inconsistent is because, you know, we have made mistakes in that. You know, there's a lot of players we have recruited in who we shouldn't have brought in. But on the other hand, there's players who we've brought in, you know, who we shouldn't have got rid of. You know, prime example, Ander Herrera and Romelu Lukaku and all of that. But in the last 7 years, you know, we spent close to the £1 billion range on players. And, you know, we have recruited over 30-odd players in since the Alex Ferguson era. So in reality, you know, we should be, you know, where Liverpool are. But obviously, you know, we are not. But Solskjaer is our 4th permanent manager since the Alex Ferguson era. And, you know, we haven't really got the structure to keep sacking managers. Obviously, you know, the managers we sacked David Moyes. He enjoyed 9 months at the club. We sacked Louis van Gaal. He enjoyed 2 years at Manchester United, but we did win the FA Cup under him. And we sacked Jose Mourinho. You know, he enjoyed 2.5 years at Manchester United and did win the Europa League and League Cup in his first season. So, in the last 7 years, we've only won 3 trophies and all of that. By the way, Solskjaer's also said, I'll also put this on my title of my video, he said that it's going to be harder now for Manchester United to win trophies than the glory days under Sir Alex Ferguson. Of course, Ferguson enjoyed 26 years at Manchester United. Of course, won a total of 38 major honours, including 13 Premier League titles. But he had 22 successful years out of the 26 years he was there, Alex Ferguson, because let's put into the equation, you know, Ferguson didn't win out in his first 4 years at the football club. So Solskjaer says it will be harder for us now to win trophies, but like I said, you know, no one will replicate Ferguson's legacy at Manchester United or in general, and no one will last as long as Alex Ferguson did. The vast majority of our success came under Ferguson, didn't it? Obviously, you know, it took us 26 years, though, to win a title. You know, it really, really did. Of course, Solskjaer congratulated Liverpool for winning the Premier League title. But he said it hurts to see Liverpool as champions. Of course, Liverpool have ended their 30-year drought. It is Liverpool's first Premier League title, and it is their 19th overall. So, reflecting on that now, Liverpool are just one behind us because we're on 20. You know, we are the most successful team in England because, like I said, you know, we have got 20 titles. But if Liverpool are to win the title next season, then, you know, they will be level with us if, you know, they do win it next season. But I don't think Liverpool are one-season wonders, you know. I think Liverpool are going to continue to dominate. You know, that's Jurgen Klopp's 4th major honour as Liverpool manager is the Premier League, because earlier on in the season, Liverpool won the FIFA Club World Cup. They also won the Super Cup, and they won the Champions League at the end of last season and all of that. But Solskjaer did say in the press conference ahead of the Norwich-Man United game in the FA Cup quarter-final, you know, he did say that Liverpool will find it difficult to repeat Alex Ferguson's run of titles. So what he's saying is he'll find it hard for Liverpool, you know, to dominate like we did under the Alex Ferguson era and all of that. But he has still congratulated them, as you know, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and that. But yeah, so hopefully, you know, Solskjaer, you know, can get us back, you know, to where we want to be. You know, the vast majority of these players are not Solskjaer's anyway. You know, he's inheriting the vast majority of Jose Mourinho's players because the vast majority of these players are Jose Mourinho's and all of that. So, there you go. Man United is the 3rd club in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's managerial career because obviously, you know, before he was at us, he was at Molde, won a few Norwegian titles with Molde, and also, too, you know, before he was at Molde, he was at Cardiff. Enjoyed a very, very short tenure with Cardiff. Only managed 29 games for Cardiff. You know, the main explanation why he got sacked from Cardiff is because he ended up, you know, getting Cardiff relegated and his record was disastrous and all of that. So there you go. By the way, before I delve into some transfer news, Solskjaer's been discussing Jesse Lingard and Paul Pogba's future. And it's 2 different versions, basically, because he said he don't know what the future holds for Jesse Lingard. Solskjaer's actually, you know, said that Jesse Lingard has got to prove himself. It's looking like that Jesse Lingard's going to be playing in the game tonight against Norwich. If he does, it will be his first start since the 1st of January. Jesse Lingard has scored in quite a few finals for us, though, so I'll credit him for that. I think last year Jesse Lingard revealed that he had a lot of off-field issues. Solskjaer also did reveal in the press conference that he's just come back from short-term illness. But Lingard's one of the worst players we've got, and like I said, reflects on the years he's been here. And reflect on his status at the football club, I said, you know, he should be putting much more better performances out. Lingard's got a year left on his Man United contract, but the club do have an option to extend it for a further year and all of that. But since Bruno Fernandes came in, Jesse Lingard has found game time very, very difficult. Yeah, so Solskjaer also spoken on Paul Pogba, and he's actually, you know, revealed that he wants Paul Pogba to stay at the football club. He wants Pogba to stay at Manchester United. Obviously, you know, Paul Pogba started alongside Bruno Fernandes for the first time in the 3-0 win against Sheffield United. And, you know, they were very, very majestic in our midfield. And like I said to you, know, Bruno Fernandes is key to Pogba's future. Because I said if the midfield partnership works out, it will stay. You know, the midfield partnership, you know, is working out at the moment. And it's the best midfield partnership in the Premier League. I think, you know, we could actually, you know, give Paul Pogba a new long-term contract. I think we've been in contract talks before. Pogba's got a year left on his Manchester United contract at the moment, but the club do have an option to extend it for a further year. Of course, Paul Pogba's one of the highest paid players at Man United. He's our most expensive signing because, you know, we did pay £89 million for the player. You know, Paul Pogba. We know he's going to stay at Man United for the remainder of this season. He's obviously, you know, going to stay next season because Solskjaer was asked about Paul Pogba, you know, staying at Manchester United for next season and all of that. But, you know, he was out with injury for a long, long time, was Paul Pogba. He was. He did start the game against Sheffield United. That was his first start in 10 months. And I did say, you know, Paul Pogba was a big miss for us this season. You know, I also said Marcus Rashford was also a big miss for us as well. Rashford's done very, very well since he came back because he's created chances. Pogba created the most chances in the game against Sheffield United. He made a fantastic impact in the 1-1 draw with Tottenham as well, did Pogba, when he came on. You know, when he came on. But, yeah, Paul Pogba had a long-running transfer saga because, you know, there was a lot of talks about him going to Real Madrid. There was also talks about him going back to Juventus. Paul Pogba did enjoy 4 good years with Juventus. There were stories about him going to PSG. You know, Barcelona have also been in for him as well before. We had Paul Pogba when he was a lot younger under the Alex Ferguson era, but we had to let him go because of obviously, you know, limited appearances. We let him go on a free transfer to Juventus and all of that. So there you go. So that's what he also mentioned in the press conference yesterday and all of that. Anyway, so let's delve into some transfer news now. Let me give you the news on Matteo Guendouzi from Arsenal. So according to reports from France, Manchester United are interested in Matteo Guendouzi. It also says that Barcelona, PSG, Inter Milan and I think Atletico have also expressed their interest. Now, speculation has been fueled up because reportedly Matteo Guendouzi has told Arteta that he does want to leave Arsenal. Now, Matteo Guendouzi was dropped in Arsenal's 2-0 win against Southampton because he's obviously, you know, been having internal issues. Of course, don't forget I think he's had a disagreement as well with Mikel Arteta as Matteo Guendouzi. In Arsenal's 2-1 defeat to Brighton not too long ago, Matteo Guendouzi had grabbed Maupay by the throat, reflecting on Bernard Leno's injury. You know, so he was actually, you know, very, very infuriated. Matteo Guendouzi is a midfielder and he's only at the age of 21. Reportedly, Arsenal are willing to sell him for around, is it 35, 40 million pounds, something like that. He has got a contract with Arsenal until 2022. Arsenal paid around £7 million for him plus bonuses from Laurent back in 2018. So I think this has been Matteo Guendouzi's second season with Arsenal. As you all know, we've done business with Arsenal before. Of course, we got Sanchez off them back in January 2018. We also got Robin van Persie off them back in 2012 and all of that. You know, but there is quite a few clubs that are in for the player. So what do you think to this news? Now, let's delve into news on JERMIE BOGA from SOlSJAKER. So, according to recent reports, Manchester United are interested in JERMIE BOGA. We are seeing him as a cheaper alternative to Jadon Sancho. reportedly, he's available for around 25 or 30 million. So he is a cheap solution. I think he's only the age of 23 is the player, and I think he is a midfielder. I think this has been now his second season with SOlSJAKER. SOlSJAKER did pay around £3.5 million to him from Chelsea. Don't forget, he played with Chelsea at youth level. He was at Chelsea for several years, was the player. I think it did say Chelsea have got a buyback option for Jeremie Boga. I think he's at around £15 million. He had quite a few loan spells as well with Rennes, Granada and Birmingham City, did the player. And he's got a contract with SOlSJAKER until 2022. So that is the latest news on that. But yeah, cheaper solution than Jadon Sancho. You know the news on Jadon Sancho, don't you? Borussia Dortmund have said they want £117 million for him. It recently said that Man United is the only option for Jadon Sancho in the summer transfer window and all of that. But yeah, we go up against Norwich this tonight. We go up against Norwich in the FA Cup quarter-finals. You've already seen my preview for the game. Of course, this is the 6th consecutive season we have progressed to the FA Cup quarter-finals. So that's obviously very, very good. In the previous round, we're beating Derby by 3-0. In the 4th round, we're beating Tranmere 6-0. And in the 3rd round, we're beating Wolves 1-0. And of course, that went to a replay. And all of that. We're looking to beat Norwich for the 3rd time this season, because we've already beaten Norwich twice this season. We're beating them 4-0 at Old Trafford, and we're beating them 3-1 at Carrow Road, Norwich. But in reality, we should progress to the semi-finals of the FA Cup. This is Norwich's first time in the FA Cup quarter-finals since the 91-92 season. The last time we played Norwich, I think, in the FA Cup was back in 93-94 season in a 4th round tie. We're beating them by 2-0. We've got a good record against Norwich because we've won 10 of our last 12 away games against them in all competitions. And we have not lost to Norwich at Carrow Road since 2012. So that is now 8 years ago. You know the team news building up to the game, don't you? Of course, Norwich have got Zinnemann out, Sam Byron and Grant Hantley. I think, have we still got Phil Jones and Alex Tuanzebe out? But Solskjaer did say, we have no other injury concerns. But he has confirmed that we will be making several changes from the 3-0 win against Sheffield United and that. I can see, Romero starting in goal because he plays in the cup games. Delors will be at right back. These players that have got to prove themselves, definitely. And one of them is Delors. Bay, I think he'll come in for Lindelof. Lindelof will be dropped. Bissaka won't be involved. I think he will be dropped. Also, too, Williams will start at left back. I think, Luke Shaw will be dropped for this game. Pogba could still start. I think McTominay will start. Fred could also start as well. I think Fernandes will be dropped. We'll give him a rest. Greenwood, could also start. He started against Sheffield United and did really, really well. Lingard, like I said, is probably going to start. Pereira could also be involved. I think also Igalo could start the game as well. I did say starts will now be limited in the Premier League because Marcus Rashford has come back. But, I think he will start this game. Will Igalo. Igalo was in a good vein of form before the season got suspended. He has got, 4 goals in 8 appearances for us. Don't forget, confirmed a couple of weeks ago that we'd extended Igalo's loan for a further 7 months. So he's going to be here until the end of January 2021 is Igalo. And then after that, he will go back to Shanghai Shenhua because we've no option to buy Igalo or there's no obligation to buy Igalo, But, yeah, maybe James could be involved because obviously, James didn't start the game against Sheffield United. Martial Rashford will be dropped as well. Martial, don't forget, scored his first senior hat-trick for Manchester United and became the first player to score a hat-trick for the club since Robin Van Persie back in 2012, or was it 2013? So yeah, you know, so yeah, you'll make a lot of rotation, will Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, definitely in that. Norwich are a very, very poor team. They are going down at Norwich. They're bottom of the Premier League. They've lost 20 games now in the Premier League this season. Their recent defeat was 1-0 to Everton, you know, and all of that. That was their recent defeat. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.